are so good. What no man can do, you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me. Can come, we can come, we can come. Doo, 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 ka. Hello, KFT family. My name is Jesse Awansi, and this is my testimony on how far the Lord has brought me. Yes, so my journey, or my testimony starts back in, I should say, 2016. This was an era where I was just in the world, living my best life, quote unquote, drinking, smoking, having sex, doing whatever basically pleases my flesh and my self desires. I was just, just doing me, being myself, a little college boy, just living the dream, so to say. And I remember one day I came back home from college, and my mother was just advising me, encouraging me in the Lord. And then that same night, I should say the next morning, she called me over, and basically woke up from a dream, basically saying that she had a dream that basically she was carrying two packages. Mind you, my mother is a mother of two boys. She was carrying two suitcases, and some random person snatched a suitcase from her, and she went running after the man. And she said she ran after the man and was running down streets, highways, and like long places. And finally, the man ran into some house, which was like at a dark. It was like a dark alleyway. And when she went, she said she was scared at first, but she said, whatever I have to do to get this suitcase, she's gonna do it. So she wound up going into the house in the dark alleyway, and lo and behold, when she got there, she saw me. I was the suitcase. And she said she was very startled and just was like, "Oh wow, what are you doing here?" I was chasing a man, but not realizing I was chasing you, or like you were here. And then when she saw me, she said she saw me crying and being just basically like in distress and like in a dark place. And then all of a sudden, some random entity or person came out and basically said, "Oh, why are you here? Why are you coming to collect what's mine? Like you're just..." Basically, my mom was doing the most. So another sidebar: my mom is someone who is very, I guess, spiritual, or very spiritually inclined and very prayerful. So yeah. So she told me that dream, and I just was just like, okay, and just went about my business. Fast forward, my mom kept on forcing me to come to a church service with her, and I was just like, not really my not really what I want to do. I go the first time, and I was like, okay, this is nice, this is good. And then I go for the second time, and lo and behold, I actually encountered God at this service, and I was just in a place where I was just in awe of the mercies and the power of God, because I was at a place where I just thought, since I'm so deep in the world, the Lord's probably forgotten about me, or the Lord has probably like not really checking for me. So for me to walk into a service like that and really encounter God, it just really showed me the love and mercies of Jehovah. And from henceforth, I just became more, I guess, conscious or more intentional about my walk. I guess I can say I was just getting more serious in the things of God. And through that, I found KFT online, and one of my cousins introduced me to their Facebook page and their prayer line, and like I would join, and I realized how powerful and how insightful it was. And I joined their prayer line and the fast that they were doing at the time, and it was so powerful, so insightful, and very refreshing. So they were having their first meetup. This was back in 2017, and I decided to go. I really pressed my cousin, like, "Yo, we have to go to this meet. I feel like it's about to be explosive." And so we get there, and then we get to Stanford. Andrew, at that time I was from Jersey, so we literally traveled from Jersey to Connecticut. So we get to the church from Jersey, and we get there, and then we walk into a classroom, and I'm just like, wait, huh? This is the church? Because I guess in my mind, I just thought the church was like, for some reason, it was very well established, and like they're probably like 8 years or even 10 years in. And I get there was a classroom, and I was like, and I remember walking in just feeling so like dang, how am I about to encounter God in this classroom? And lo and behold, I kid you not, within 5 minutes of being in the presence there, it was just fireworks and my mind was blown. Like, I'm talking about, I was in, and it was just like nothing to explain. So, long story short, that night, I got to encounter the God of Apostle Dominic and Prophetess Leslie. And I left there delivered, I left there restored, I left there revived, I left there healed, I left there just with a new hunger for God. As soon as Apostle Dominic took the mic, deliverance broke out in the room. People were just screaming. It was just a power move, and I was just in awe of what God was doing in the room. Then Prophetess also took the mic and just started calling out prophetically things that I was going through in the moment. So many demons, so many devils was just being casted out left and right out of me. And literally by the end of the night, I literally found myself at the end of the classroom like wall, just like being delivered and just, you know, being set free from a lot of things. And it was just such a power move, such a prophetic atmosphere. Like, she literally was calling things out that I have not told anyone, things that like I was just dealing with. And it was just such a powerful time in the Lord. And I remember leaving that place just like, wow, I would never be the same after this. And I just left there revived, refreshed, with a new hunger for God. And I remember just saying to myself, wow, if the Lord can use these young people as mightily like this, sure he can also do it with me too. But I remember at the time, I wasn't really ministerial mind. I didn't really have a ministry mindset, or like was really desiring to do the work of God in a sense. But I just remember like just saying to myself, wow, if the Lord can use these young people, sure he can surely use me as well. So fast forward, I just always stayed connected to the ministry. I always would just watch them and just like watch from afar. And like one day I was just going through it, and I decided to just reach out to Apostle via phone call, because at the time he used to give us his phone number on the prayer line. Apostle was always encouraging me on the phone, literally to the point where some of our phone calls would be deliverance sessions, and he would just be delivering me, praying me up, like and just, you know, praying for me through the phone. It would just be such powerful times. So then I finally decided to just be more committed to their programs. So, you know, after that, I would just be attending their prayer lines more often and attending their programs, and program after program, line after line. Anytime I encountered them, it would just be a release, like a breaking, like it's like it was like the portals were open over this ministry for me. Every time I would join the prayer line, every time I would encounter them in person, it would just be such a power move, like deliverances after deliverances, reviving after reviving, a refreshing healing in my soul. It would just be a lot of spiritual activity going on in my life, and I just used to enjoy it and love it and look forward to them. And I remember one divine encounters moment I had with them back in 2017. I remember coming to the first prayer fest. Well, not the first prayer fest, but my first time coming to prayer fest. I remember coming and I was just like, Lord, another level, another measure, another dose of you. I remember coming there just hungry. And I remember the first night, First Lady opened up, and it was so powerful. She preached a powerful message. Then at the end, she said that the Lord is calling out worshipers, and how the Lord wants to anoint worshipers in this season, and how the Lord wants to call out worshipers in this time. So if you are here, you know you sing, or if you're a musician, come up. And at the time, I actually did not know how to sing. At the time, I was not really known for anything, I should say. But I just knew there was something deep down inside of me that like could do, like I can hit a note here and there, like I can do something for y'all. But it wasn't something that like I embraced, embodied, and was doing. So when she said that, I didn't have the inclination to really go up. But I kid you not, 2 seconds later, I don't know how I got to the altar, but I was there. I don't know. Literally, the Holy Spirit dragged me, and I fell out, and I fell on the floor, and funny enough, I fell right in front of her. And next thing I know is I'm literally getting up, and I'm trying to kneel on the ground, and there goes First Lady chugging a bottle of oil on my head, and she just started prophesying over me, declaring over me, and just giving me prophetic words about my voice and my ministry and what the Lord would use me to do and how the Lord would elevate me. And I was just like, oh wow. And it was just such a divine moment, because I was like, I have no experience or no anything to do with the worship ministry per se. So moving forward, so I just took it, and I just, I was like, amen. And I went about my life. And from that day forward, that's when I can say I started moving ministerially in my gift, and the gift just enhanced. Like, the thing grew, like, it's as if something came upon me and just was just growing as the day goes by or the weeks go by. And it was just like so strange, I should say, or just so powerful. Like, the thing was just like a burden for just music ministry just came upon me, and I would just be singing in my room, just worshiping by myself, and just doing this God thing. And yeah, just to see how far the Lord has brought me is just really mind-blowing from then to now. I became an official member after all those encounters in 2017 and the first half of 2018. I became official member in 2018, towards the end of 2018. And boy, the Lord has done a good work in me. Me thinking I've planted my feet at KFT, and I thought it would just be a season of just more growth and more elevation. Nope. Through that season of finally joining, it was more deliverances, more pruning, more purging, more word, more seeking the face of God for breakthroughs and all types of healings and et cetera, et cetera. Even that season, though my gift was enhanced and was brought and stirred by my leaders, those things took time. Like, I remember at one season they actually sat me down for like a good year and a half, heading towards 2 years, because they saw the need for my deliverance. They saw the need for me to grow as an individual, for me to build my own personal oil before I build oil for the gift. And I took heed to it, and it was that season was just so, it was such a great season for me and God. I can say that like my relationship with God really enhanced, and I really saw the essence of relationship with the Holy Spirit. I really saw the essence of ministry, just sitting back, not really thinking about ministry or thinking about music, but just really honing in on being a child and a servant of God. It's so amazing to see how much the church have grown, how much our leaders, apostles and prophets have grown from that time to now. Literally, it makes me, they are literally reference points for me in prayer, because I've really watched them labor, toil for this ministry, and to see how big this thing has grown, to see how many lives and souls have been impacted by this grace that has impacted me is just such a sight to see. I came here broken. I came here with all types of afflictions and oppressions, and the Lord has used them to really deal with me deal with me and from the things from the root. And now the Lord has just broken me free, and now I can freely sing. I can freely worship the Lord. I can freely use my gift to bless lives, and it's just a blessing. So shortly after that, the pandemic happened, and services were now being streamed at Apostle Prophetess House. And I used to go there to help out with services, and we would just do the work. And I have someone who will now finish this story off for me. And this is my lovely wife, Madam Gladys, who I actually met through the ministry, but we'll get into that.
So the pandemic, in 2020, obviously when the world shut down, the government was advising everyone against gathering in person. Apostle and prophetess stood their ground, were bold in the things of God, and held service in their house. And faithfully, we still met online every Wednesday for Bible studies,
Yep.
fire night, Sunday services. Jesse would come over sometimes to also minister, also do worship, backup. And it was just amazing seeing that in a time where everyone was living in fear, everyone's churches shut down, did not even have the media capabilities to go live. Apostle and prophetess believed that in the blood of Jesus in the time. They believe that what we preach, this is a time to, show it. So we held services, and the church, I believe, that was also a very monumental time because the church grew exponentially. Like the members, I'm on the media team, so I see the numbers a lot, and I noticed that over the course of the weeks, the people that would join our lives streaming, they'll grow. And then I remember when we came back into church in 215, our old building, it got to a point where we could no longer fit the place. We were at capacity most of the times, most programs. We had, if you guys have ever visited us at our old location, we had a top balcony part. We would have chairs all along. It got so much. And the Lord saw us fit to move to our new and latest building that you see now, which is 65 Tokenique Road in Darien, Connecticut. So the church has grown, and it has really been the doing of the Lord through apostle and prophetess. And as you can see, my husband is a testament of it, but we also are a testament of this ministry, and it's 8 years. So Jesse and I met through the church. We actually met I became a member of KFT back in 2018. I joined the church back in 2018, and Jesse and I started being friends in 2019, and it was just
This is my bestie, y'all. This is my best friend.
It was just casually friends. We're just friends because, like he told you, he was going through his own deliverance.
I wasn't focused on no girl.
Yeah, he was getting his life together. I was also a sophomore in college at the time, so I was also just interested in learning more about God, interested in getting my life together, making sure I don't fall into generational curses and pattern. I was like, if I'm in it, then I'm all the way in. And then I started serving on the media team, and I was 10 toes down in the team and ministry ever since I joined in 2019. So we started being friends, and then in 2021, Jesse was just like, I like you. I was like, what do you mean?
Guys, literally, what do you
I was like, what do you mean? Because we're just friends. So in the beginning, I was a little hesitant because we're just friends, but he felt, and Apostle always says that when the man knows, he knows, and the man is the one that decides. But the Lord started to speak to me personally concerning him, and it just made sense. Like for me personally, and this is a little bit of my testimony of coming into the church and just seeing the Lord orchestrate my steps. I thought I just made a really best friend, not knowing that was the Lord's way of introducing me to my husband. And so Jesse and I met. We started dating in 2021. He proposed so we started dating February 2021. Jesse proposed February 2023. And then we got married this year, April 2024. So the Lord has a funny way of putting people together.
Literally.
And he has a way of also just beautifying your life when you give him your all. Jesse's testimony till this day is one of my personal favorite testimonies ever, because it really shows you what it means or how beautiful it is when someone submits their entire life to God, gives them their yes, and is obedient and remains teachable. Because I think that's why the Lord uses Jesse, and it's so easy for him to use him, because he's someone that when he really came and experienced how powerful God changed his life, it was like, I'll give you anything and everything. But we got married, and literally here we are. For both of us, this ministry has been a blessing.
A huge blessing.
Watching the church grow, coming into 65, going from a small member, Jesse going from a classroom to now 65 Tokenique Road. It can only be God. And if God has done this in 8 years, then what is he about to do in the next 8?
Girl, that's what I'm saying.
So we are just extremely, extremely grateful and very thankful, and we cannot wait to celebrate 8th anniversary. It's just been a beautiful journey watching the ministry grow, and now seeing Jesse about to be ordained as a minister. Like, you went from being someone who was literally oppressed to receiving a word about your ministry. And I don't know if you even told them how you didn't even know you had the gift of singing.
Yeah, I didn't.
To now be someone who God has called to sing to nations is amazing. Even Pastor-elect Jalik, Pastor-elect Elijah. I remember when Pastor-elect Elijah joined the ministry, he came, literally apostle and prophets took him in by the direction of the Lord, received his deliverance, and literally to see how much God has even turned his life around.
Yeah.
When he came, got his deliverance, went back to the state he was from, he was like, I cannot. I remember literally him telling me like my life has changed, I can't come back. And I remember his now wife, Sister Lucy, was able to connect him to a job at her place. And I even told him, hey, my brother has a house in New Jersey, you can rent it out. And it just all worked out for him. To even see how far the Lord has brought him and all the ministers getting ordained. My very own HOM, Brother David Watson is getting ordained as a minister. And even he himself, to see how far the Lord has brought him as my person. He's been my leader since 2019. So to see the growth in his life, not only physically, but even spiritually, his obedience, his sacrifices to ministry, his sacrifices to God, is just, guys, God really, really, really has a way of blowing minds.
Literally.
When you hear the call, when he calls you and tells you, this is your place, and you plant. Really?
Who's calling my name?
Anyway, this is not a singing session.
Okay.
God has a beautiful way of really also backing up and giving testimonies to those that he calls. So with that being said, there's literally nothing else left but to tell you to come and join us for our 8th year celebration happening. When is it happening?
July 24th to the 28th.
Yes.
We want to see you and you and you and you sitting in the back watching there.
So yeah, starting from Wednesday, July 24th to Sunday, July 28th, we want to invite every single one of you guys watching, your friends, whether you're a member or not a member, young, old, new, come and celebrate with us. Come and celebrate and say thank you to what God has done to this ministry in 8 years. Come and watch on Saturday, the ordination as well. Come and see my husband get ordained, and all the other ministers and pastor-elects as well. We just want you guys to help us to thank God for all that he has done for us, and we cannot wait to see you guys there. This has been lovely.
Yes. God bless you.
God bless you guys. See you.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. Hey! Cordially inviting all of you guys for our 8th year anniversary weekend. It's going to be powerful and amazing ministers coming to be a blessing to us as we celebrate and usher KFT into the 8th year. Do not miss it. It's going to be a glorious and powerful time. July 24th to the 28th.